Jay, you're a piece of shit. A piece of shit. Oh, Jay, you suck.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Talking to Myself. I'm your host, Jake Letizia, and this is the podcast where I stare at a camera and I talk to myself. And some of you watch it on YouTube and go, oh, fuck, look at this guy's dumb face. And then others listen to it just on iTunes and goes, holy shit, I'm listening to this fuckhead's voice. What the hell? And you laugh or cry or call me an asshole, whatever you prefer. That's what this podcast is. Yeah, how's it going, guys? I'm feeling pretty good right now. I'm feeling pretty settled in. This podcast, we're at episode 23 now. 23 this week. Holy fuck, we're 2 away from 25, which I've already stated on a previous episode. Every 25, I'm going to reveal some embarrassing shit. So 2 episodes from now, I'm going to say some stuff that is going to be uncomfortable for me and hopefully entertaining to you guys. And hopefully beneficial to you guys. Hopefully it can make you guys not feel so bad about past things you've done or past circumstances you've been in where you're like, oh, I can't believe I fucking did that. Hopefully I can wipe away any shame you have of those situations with the ones that I'm going to reveal to you that I have. Because they're fucking, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. Anyway, the things that keep you up at night when you're about to fall asleep and then you're like, oh my God, I said that to a girl I liked? What the fuck? Does she still remember that? I hope not, because if she remembers that, I want to kill myself. But anyway, that's episode 25. For now, I just want to talk about some simple fucking things. Wrote a couple things down. And I'm going to try and stick to the list this time. I usually write like 10 things and I never get to all of it. So I wrote down like 5 things and I'm going to try and get through all of them. But if we go off the rails, we go off the rails. That's how this podcast goes. The people who've been listening for a long time know that. The people who are just listening now, you're already like, hey, why is this guy rambling? This intro's too long. Guess what? I don't give a fuck. No, but keep listening. It's going to be a good time. One thing I want to say is August 4th, Sunday, August 4th, Pine Box Rock Shop. Another one of mine and Josh's comedy show is going to be up at Pine Box Rock Shop at 7:30 p.m. August 4th. It's a Sunday. I know you have nothing to do because it's fucking Sunday and you got work the next day. But guess what? Our show is nice and early, 7:30 o'clock. You'll be in bed by 10 o'clock. You'll have a fucking wonderful time. You'll laugh a lot. You'll have a few drinks. You'll pass out immediately at 10 o'clock when you get home. And then you'll wake up tomorrow in a good mood because you saw some beautiful comedy and you had some laughs and yucks with a couple of friends. Okay? So come to our show Sunday, August 4th. Jake and Josh Are Not Funny at Pine Box Rock Shop. Info is all on my Instagram and all that bullshit. Anyway, I saw a movie yesterday. I saw Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I don't want to get too much into it yet. Maybe like a month from now I can really dive in and talk about spoilers and all that. But I just want to say that this movie... You guys don't need to turn this off. I'm not going to spoil anything. But this movie, to some degree, feels like Quentin Tarantino going, hey, fuck you guys. Like, okay, for years it's been rumored that Quentin Tarantino has a foot fetish because of certain scenes in his movies with bare feet and women's feet and all this good, weird shit. If you're into feet, good for you. I'm personally not. I think it's a little gross, but I'm not going to shame you, man. You like what you like. As long as you like of-age feet, I'm okay with it. So anyway, Quentin Tarantino, it's been rumored for a long time, and then a reporter who he hooked up with, I think at one point, years ago, was telling people or telling people gossip or whatever the fuck. She was revealing to people that like he like licked her feet and he wanted to do like a lot of feet stuff with her, which Tarantino was like, I don't know why she was saying that. But I think Tarantino admitted, like, yeah, I mean, I like what I like, but it's not anyone's business. And I tend to agree with Tarantino. If you do something with somebody and it's consensual and you guys are fine, you probably shouldn't just be telling everybody. That's a little weird, But anyway, so I think it's pretty much been confirmed that Tarantino likes feet. And if it wasn't confirmed before, this movie is Tarantino going, yeah, dude, I like feet, and I don't give a fuck if you care or not. Because this movie has the most gratuitous feet shots I've ever seen in a Tarantino film. Okay? Sharon Tate goes to watch her movie, right, to react to everyone reacting to it, and for no reason at all, they cut to a wide shot or a medium shot of her with her bare feet on the seat, and they're dirty as shit. I got a question, Tarantino. How the fuck are her feet so dirty, and why is she barefoot in the theater? We saw her walk into the theater with fucking high heel boots on. How the fuck did she get them off so easily? Does she have socks on? What the fuck is going on? The transition from her laughing and smiling and sitting in a normal position to her with her dirty feet up on the seats is instantaneous and impossible. Okay? It's so instantaneous and impossible and so out of place that all I can get from that image is Tarantino going, yep, I like dirty feet, you fucks, and you gotta see them too. There's another scene, even more gratuitous, where, well, also before that scene, there's a scene where Margot Robbie's in bed and it starts on her feet and then it just pans up to her face and she's snoring. And you're like, oh, that scene was literally just so that Tarantino could watch it later and be like, her feet are nice, huh? Like, that's what certain parts of this movie fucking feels like. There's this hippie girl from the Manson family, one of the Manson sisters, who Brad Pitt likes and keeps looking at, and they portray in a very old school kind of way of like guy looking at the girl and the girl looking back, and they're doing like cutesy like, oh, I like you, all hand signal shit from far away. And she gets in his car, right? And once she gets in his car, she puts her feet up on the fucking dashboard and presses her two bare feet against the windshield so that her 2 feet are twice the size of each of the characters in frame. It's a 2-shot with her feet fucking in the foreground, like daring you to be grossed out or want to lick the toe, whatever you're into, man. The feet are in a position where if you're into feet, you're going to want to bite them. And if you're not into feet, you go, holy shit, dude, I'm going to puke. Get those fucking feet off my goddamn screen. It's so gratuitously in your face that Tarantino must have thought to himself, you know what? I'm going to make a movie about all the movies I love. Why not make a movie that is really overt about the sexual shit I like too? That's what this movie feels like. To me, at least. At least those 2 parts were very fucking aggressively, hey, look at these goddamn feet. I like feet. Deal with it. That's the thesis of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Hey, my name's Quentin Tarantino, and I fucking like feet. Deal with it. And I don't know what. Kudos to him, man. I mean, do what you feel, man. Whatever. I just there's no going back from this movie. There's no after this movie him being like, I don't like feet. There's only him going, yeah, I clearly like feet. Okay. You don't watch my movies anymore because I'm going to keep having, oh my God. And the most infuriating part was, because I had no problem. I was angry. Listen, if you want to put feet on camera like that, I guess it's fine. Whatever. It's out of place. It doesn't really make sense in the movie, but at least make it make sense. Margot Robbie's feet should not be dirty. Okay? She's wearing high heel boots. I'm sure when she's in her house, there's not dirt all over the floor. Unless she's running around in a fucking garden and getting her feet covered in mulch and shit, her feet should be pretty clean. Also, is she I really need to know about the socks. Is she wearing socks? Did she take the socks off as well? Are the socks in her boots on the floor? Or should she just take her socks off and have them on the fucking sticky, popcorn-filled movie theater ground? Like, what kind of a gross person is this? And then the hippie girl, I was fine with it. I was fine with her feet being dirty. But guess what? Her feet were less dirty than Margot Robbie's. And then they cut to her. They go to the ranch, and they get out of the car, and the hippie girl's wearing sandals. Why how are these women taking their fucking footwear off so effortlessly and instantaneously? How is it happening? Are they magicians with feet? Are they feet magicians? What the fuck is going on? I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense, but that's okay because a lot of that movie was very strange. It didn't make a lot of sense. So maybe we were watching a fantastical film. It is movie magic after all. Maybe Quentin Tarantino was making a commentary on movie magic. Anything can happen in a movie. A woman's shoes could disintegrate from her feet, and then they could be dirty for no reason, just so the director can be satisfied sexually. Anything can happen in movie magic. All right. All right, I'll move on from that now because I don't want to spoil too much of that movie. It was an interesting movie. I would see it if you like Tarantino. I feel like if you like Tarantino, whether you like it or not, you have to go see his movie. You know, you have to be up to date. You have to know what the fuck's going on with him. I feel like once you start watching Tarantino movies, once you find a Tarantino movie you like, at that point, you're locked in. You're like, all right, well, now I got to see what he's doing with whatever new film comes out. The only two Tarantino films I haven't seen are Jackie Brown and Kill Bill 2, I think. Yeah, I hear Jackie Brown. I don't know. I watched a scene from Jackie Brown recently, and I was like, what the fuck is this movie? My brother describes it as just like the most non-Tarantino movie. And, I mean, from the scene I watched, which was this weird scene where Uncle Jack, the guy who played Uncle Jack from Breaking Bad, who's like an FBI agent or something, and Michael Keaton are like drilling the main woman in the film, and they're like, hey, can we check your bag and shit? And there's weird music playing in the background. It just felt not Tarantino-ish. I don't know how to describe it. It just felt very dull in a way that Tarantino movies aren't. And you know what? I don't know. I liked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but there was a blandness to it. There was like a deadness and pointlessness to the movie. It's the most aimless and meandering of any Tarantino film I've seen. I haven't seen Jackie Brown, so I don't know how that plays out, but the rest of his films, this one was the most, hey, let's just sit in scenes and like show it. Yeah, it really just felt like Quentin Tarantino showing the shit he likes and not really caring if you're interested or not. I don't know. I like Tarantino films. I don't really like Tarantino. I don't know. I rewatched Reservoir Dogs recently, or I rewatched the opening scene of Reservoir Dogs the other day, and they're talking about tipping. Steve Buscemi's talking about tipping, and they're talking about Like a Virgin, that song, and it goes on for like, it's like a 10-minute scene, and I was watching it and I was going, does this movie suck? I was watching it going, do I hate Reservoir Dogs? Because I love that fucking movie. I have to rewatch that whole movie now to like, I'm going to rewatch the whole thing and then come back to you guys next week. But I was watching it going, oh no, do I think this movie is bad now? I don't want that to happen. I want every movie I see as a child to be amazing. And most of them are. And I don't know if that's nostalgia or what, but also that's how I felt about this movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I felt like if I lived during that time period, if I had the nostalgia for all the nostalgia pieces in this movie, then I would fucking love the movie. But I feel like I'm just a little too young for it. Anyway, enough about that. Enough about Tarantini, Bambini, the great Tarantini. You know what? One more thing about Tarantino. What the fuck is he doing with his goddamn... Dude, Tarantino needs to stop doing cringy shit. He does cringy shit, dude. I posted this on my Instagram. There's a picture of him like this. He had his thumbs up and it was in front of his lips, or is it like on his nose or something, with Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio on either side of him, just like being normal because and looking cool as fuck. Because you know what? Cool guys don't try and look cool. But Tarantino is at the center of them, trying to be one of the cool kids, and he's doing a weird thumbs up that makes it... He's doing the thing that, like, you do in middle school because you think it looks cool. Like, I used to pose for photos and be like... And do, like, middle fingers up. He was doing the equivalent of middle... He was doing the journalist-friendly... The magazine cover friendly version of a middle finger up. He was doing the middle school version of, hey, look, dude, I'm gonna do a cool pose for the camera. Thumbs up. At Cannes, did you guys see that meme? There was this video and it was like, oh, this is the cringiest thing of the week, or this is ultra cringe. It was in all the freaking cringe compilations that month, my man. But it was at Cannes. They have this tradition that they clap for like 90 minutes after your movie is over, if it's a good movie. Or it's like 20 minutes. I don't know. It's fucking stupid, okay? That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about a lot of these award shows in general. But I feel particularly about this. If I had a movie that premiered, right, and people stood up and clapped for 20 minutes after the movie, I would want to kill myself. I would be like, hey guys, you need to sit down because no one deserves this much praise. After a minute, it becomes fake praise. You know what I'm saying? At what minute do we all universally accept that you're now just forcing people to continue standing and clapping for you? Minute 5? At the very least, at minute 9. Like, does Tarantino stand there? Do the directors stand there going, oh, well, this is a tradition, people just do this? Or do they stand there and really think that people want to clap for that fucking long at their movie? Also, listen, man, I might clap for Pulp Fiction is one of my favorite movies of all time, right? And I might clap for 20 seconds at the end of that movie. You know what I'm saying? A minute if the crowd is really going with it. But 20 minutes of clapping for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? I liked the movie. I thought there were moments in it that were fucking amazing. But 20 minutes of clapping? No, dude. No. 15 seconds of clapping, okay? And then you get a full minute for your best movie of all time. That's the new requirement. All right, Cannes, you listen to me? If I ever have a film at Cannes, which, that's a very cocky thing to say. That's a cocky thing to even propose as a hypothetical. Listen, guys, when I'm on that Tarantino level, I'm not going to make anyone stand up. But you know what? Fuck it. If I ever have a film at Cannes and it's critically acclaimed and all that bullshit and people try and stand and clap for 20 minutes, I am going to literally say out loud, after a minute, go, all right, that's enough, everybody. Sit the fuck down. I appreciate all this, but sit in your fucking seats before I kill everybody, because this is weird and uncomfortable. Anyway, I'm getting off the rails. What I want to talk about is the cringe, okay? So the cameraman, for whatever reason, was going way too close to everybody's face. Every actor. Margot Robbie, Dakota Fanning, even though she's in the movie for 3.2 seconds. Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio. And then they finally, at the end, go to Tarantino. And they're way too close on Tarantino's face. He's got a big head, okay? Nothing wrong with that. I have a giant fucking head. but it's not that flattering when you go really close to a big head on a camera. It looks like a fucking boulder is about to break your screen. So it's already not that flattering. I understand. I'm not insulting you, Tarantino. I understand the struggle. I look fucking awful. You can see every little crater and dent in my goddamn face when you're as close as they were to you. And I'm just saying, I feel sympathy for you. Right? So he's standing there awkwardly like, oh, this is cool. Everyone's clapping for my film. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, you should tell them it's okay to stop because it's going on for way too long. But at the same time, whatever, man. So then in the middle of them close on his face and everyone clapping, he just does one of these. Now, if you're listening on the podcast, you need to go on YouTube right now and go 20 minutes in or however long I'm into the podcast right now, and you need to look at what I just did because it's so goddamn cringy and awful. The world must know that a high-level director did this. And I understand it's very Quentin Tarantino to do that, but at the same time, he did this. Okay, if you don't want to go to the YouTube, I'll explain it to you. He did a peace sign across his head with one hand and then a peace sign across his forehead with the other hand, like the fucking move that Uma Thurman did in Pulp Fiction as a dance. I understand that that's a reference to one of his greatest movies of all time, but at the same time, don't fucking do that cuz you make me want to throw up and kill myself. It's so uncomfortable that when I am reiterating it towards you guys right now, I feel like I'm a loser for doing it. Do you know what I'm saying? The cringe is so strong in that move that anybody at any level, it would be uncomfortable. But for a director, like fucking 30 years into the industry, at a film festival where they're applauding his film, for him to then do that middle school move of pieces across the forehead, it just makes a little piece of my soul fucking die, I think. It really does. But, anyway. Enough about that. All right, damn. I really fucking pontificate, huh? I just wrote Tarantino on the sheet, and that's what we got out of that. Fucking almost a half hour of just me spewing goddamn nonsense, dude. Anyway, what else should I talk about? I got 4 minutes left. Okay. Maybe I'll start talking about something and then continue it in the next phase, the next part of this podcast. Okay. Let's talk about the beach. I don't know. I was thinking about this the other day, the beach. I always forget to go to the beach in the summer. I don't know about you guys, but I always forget it. And I like the beach. I'm not one of these people who's like, I'm not Larry David, man. I love Larry David's commentary on the beach. What's the point of it? You know, Who Likes Sand, all that shit. Love Curb Your Enthusiasm. Love episodes where they go to the beach and he hates it. But at the same time, I like the beach, dude. I do. I like it. Especially if you can get to an empty one. It depends on the beach. I don't know. Yeah, guys, if you're wondering right now, are we just going to get into like the nitty-gritty of beaches right now? Yeah, we are. So fuck off. Fuck off or enjoy. I don't know, Jones Beach. You ever been to Jones Beach? Jones Beach is a fucking shithole. If you live in New York and you've been to Jones Beach, I'm sorry. Okay? Go to Long Beach. Go to Rockaway in the city. Okay? Don't go to Jones Beach. It's such a fucking Guido shithole. And I'm allowed to say that because I'm Italian, but also anyone could say that. All right? I welcome anybody, non-Italians alike. You can call Jones Beach a Guido shithole. Guido Shithole Beach should be the name of Jones Beach. It's not even a beach. It's just a pile of sand with a bunch of gross people sitting on top of it. You can't walk on Jones Beach without stepping on a wet, greased up thigh. You know what I'm talking about? It's just all these fucking very tan dudes with guts and beers and their girlfriends who are like, what the fuck? And they're like, yo, bro, Yo, bro. Let's play fucking that game with the can and the frisbee, bro. Trash can ball. What is that game called? That everyone fucking tries to get you to play? I like the beach when it's just you and somebody whose face you kiss a lot, and it's just you and her, and you hang out on the beach, and you maybe read a book. You go fucking for a walk on the beach. You go for a swim. Okay, you go in the water with the woman you're with, and you fucking make out in the ocean. That's what's fun. Okay, that's when the beach is dope. Or you go with a friend. You go with one other person. You go swim. You fuck around. You talk shit. That's fun. I don't want to go to the beach with 20 fucking people and we all got to decide who wants to do what together. Fuck that, dude. If you're rolling 20 deep, you need to separate into packs, okay? Because 20 people are never going to agree on the same thing to do. I've talked about this before with going out to bars. Same thing with the beach, okay? People tell me to put sunscreen on. I'll burn if I want to, dude. You're not my mother. Okay? Did you put your sunscreen on? Hey, did you know that we're not friends anymore? Shut the fuck up. Hey, where did Jake go? I went for a walk by myself because you guys are annoying, dude. Let me fucking... Hey, why didn't you tell us where you went? Because I'm trying to have a good time. And am I 3 years old? Why when you roll... When you're with that many people, everyone suddenly acts like everyone's a child. Well, if you're gonna go to the pizzeria, tell me that you went there. If you don't know where I am, text me and I'll fucking tell you. Call me up. Hey Jake, where'd you go? Oh, I went to the pizzeria down the street. Oh, sick. All right. Well, you want to meet back here in a second? Yeah, cool. Where's Jake? Where did Jake go? Why didn't you tell us where you went, Jake? My little child boy, my little friend boy. You didn't tell us that you were going to the pizza. Well, if you're going to the pizzeria, why didn't you? Well, I might have wanted some pizza. Well, I don't give a fuck what you want, dude. You're an adult. Go get your own shit. I don't know. I'm all over the place right now. I sound like a fucking asshole right now. But it's just what are we? That's all right. That's the first part. What are we doing with the beach? You know what I'm talking about? What are we doing? I don't know. Anyway, that's the end of the first part. I'll see you in the second half. Okay, see you in a second. All right, we're back. How's it going? So the beach, man. The beach is cool. Yeah, I don't know, man. The beach is, when it's just you and somebody else, it's a fun time. I don't know. Every summer I think about summer memories. You know, I think about really great times I had with people that I don't know, I see them sometimes now, but we don't really, we're not as close as we used to be. You can't be. So, people, I used to spend so much time with them. Now I don't. This is going to be a change of pace. I'm much calmer right now. This might be a much quieter change of pace this second half of the podcast. I just I don't know. I was thinking about this on a different week when I was going to record and I was going to talk about it, and then I just didn't, and then I was like, well, if it stays in my head, maybe I'll talk about it on the podcast. And it just it is, I guess, especially towards August, because August, when I was 17 and I was dating my girlfriend at the time, who I was in love with, very much in love with. We were both very much in love. We went and stayed in a beach town with her family in August. And I think one year I stayed the whole month. I think they were there for a month or for whatever reason in my head it was 2 weeks. Maybe that's because I stayed 2 weeks. Maybe they stayed the whole month and I came for 2 weeks. But every summer I remember the first time I went, because the second year I went was not as fun as the first time. It was actually very crazy the second time, because it was a lot of I thought she wasn't having her we had a pregnancy scare. You know what I'm saying? A pregnancy scare when you're that young is a real fucking pregnancy scare because you don't know what the fuck to do and you've never been in that situation before. So you're, the moment your girlfriend doesn't have her period, you're like, "Oh no, I'm a father." When she's 2 days late and you're like, "Oh no, I got to think of names. I got to think of his name. What the fuck is his name? I got to buy a crib. I don't have money for a crib. I'm still in high school. What the fuck is going on?" That's real adrenaline. That's more adrenaline than you'll ever feel again in your life is, "Oh no, I'm 17 and my 16-year-old girlfriend might be fucking pregnant. I'm dead. My family is going to disown me and then take the baby and raise my son as their own while I become a degenerate piece of shit." But yeah, I want to I don't know. I'm trying to be serious. No, but the first time I was there with her was one of the most fun and pure times of my life. I don't know how to describe it without it sounding. I'm making it sound like a fucking sterile and gross, just like very clinical. It was a very pure time. No, it was me and her, and that's it. That's what it felt like. That's what my world was for those 2 weeks. Me and her and the beach, and it was awesome. It was you know what it was? I was happy. I was so happy. And maybe that's just getting older is the burden of life suppresses your happiness more often than it should, but it's interesting the moments you remember stick out to you as you get older. Like, why was I so happy those 2 weeks in particular? Why was I so affected by those 2 weeks? We'd go to the beach every day. We'd have fucking seafood every night. And I just remember making her laugh fucking the whole time. And we fucked in an outdoor shower. We'd be in her room just like watching Degrassi. She liked Degrassi, and I would make fun of the show, and she'd be like, "Shut the fuck up, I like this show." And we just kissed a lot, and we had a really good time, and we smiled a lot, and we were just very, very happy in a way I haven't been. And I think back as you like to people like to, and I like to think of that age, people that age, you don't know what's going on. You don't know. I mean, you're not, you don't really know the world yet. You're not old enough. You don't think that deeply at that age. I don't know. As I get older, I think like that, but at the same time, when I have that memory, it's more intense to me than most memories as an older person. The feelings I had for that person, they're more intense than I felt for other people later on. And maybe that's just first love. Maybe that's just, your first experience with something is the most intense one, but I don't know. We like to look back on young kids like that, 17 years old, like high school age, and think, those kids, they don't know what's going on. They can't really describe to you what they're feeling. We'd like to think they don't know. We like to think that they're ignorant. But at the same time, you know so much at that age because you feel so intensely. You can't articulate what you feel. You can't stack it up against the other experiences of what you'll feel later. But you, in that moment, you feel such pure, intense feelings that there are moments you'll never forget, and you don't know that they're coming until they come, and they happen, and then you don't know how significant they are until you're much older. And I'm 9 years from that now. 9 years, and I still remember it exactly. I remember getting Five Guys and making fun of how much I mean, my hatred for Five Guys existed back then, and we had this giant bag of fries that I put in the fridge, and it took up like half the fucking room in the fridge, and I was so annoyed. And I remember her lip was very chapped, and she was like self-conscious about it, and I didn't care about it at all. And we were like lying on her bed, and she had a pink shirt on, and I kissed her, and I just thought she was so cute. I remember her fucking face, you know. I remember burying her in the sand. I remember her asking me to bury her, and I buried her, and I just remember reading American Psycho on the beach next to her. I remember going in the water, doing inappropriate things in the ocean with her. I just remember so much of that so vividly, and it's so good to feel, you know? I don't know. It makes me very happy, those memories like that. I'm so glad to have them. And I don't know, I feel guilty sometimes because, I don't know what's happening right now. Oh, dude, you're getting emotional, bruh. I feel very lucky, you know, because I got to feel that. A lot of people don't get to feel that intensely in love with somebody. And it's the best feeling you could feel. And, you know, I've never had a kid. I've never had those things that people say are the big moments in your life, the things that change your life, the best days of your life. But I know the best days of mine, and a lot of them are being in love with somebody. And I'm very grateful to have had that experience, and I hope everybody can feel something like that, because everyone deserves to feel good like that. All right. I don't know what just happened. I don't know what's happening. All right. Ignore that for a second. Yeah, I don't know. Don't ignore love, I think, is what I want to say. Just if you find love in somebody, chase it. Chase it, and you'll have those memories. You'll have good fucking memories. And don't be afraid of feeling intensely for someone, because 9 years later you'll be talking about it to yourself in a room to a camera, and you'll start tearing up like a dummy because it was such a good experience you had. So hold on to those moments. They're worthwhile. Anyway, what the fuck am I doing? This is supposed to be a comedy podcast. Oh man, how much time is left? Fucking 17 minutes. Okay, let's fucking change gears. Let's hard change gears, my friends. All right. What else do I want to talk about? Now the things that I want to talk about feel very strange to talk about now. Anyway, I don't know. I deleted all my apps, deleted all the dating apps recently. I don't know. I'm in a space where I want to put my money where my mouth is, you know? On this podcast, I talk a lot about, like, I want to be able to go up to people and just start talking to them. And I don't want the dating apps. The dating apps are too easy. They're an excuse to not go communicate with people in real fucking life that you think are interesting. All right? I want to start going up to the people who I see at parties, or I see at a bar, or I see in plain sight, who I think, oh man, who is that? I want to start finding out who that is, instead of going, well, I don't want to bother them, and then going on my phone and fucking swiping, and then going on dates going on a date with a person who you made up in your head. I've talked about this before in the podcast, but that's what it is. When you do online dating, you're not that person. Okay? You're not that person. The person I show up, I meet, I go, oh, you're not the one that I made up in my head. And of course you aren't, and you never should be. But, like, people pick their best photos. People on dating apps should pick, I always talk about this fucking bullshit, but people on the dating app should pick the worst photo of themselves, okay? You should be required to have a terrible photo of yourself, a photo of yourself that you didn't know was coming, and then you can have a beautiful photo, okay? Because those are 3 instances that will tell me what you actually might look like as a person. And also, this all goes back to, hey, let's have video on dating apps, because then you know what someone fucking looks like. So anyway, as someone who's like, video needs to be on dating apps, you know what's better than video? Fucking one-on-one human interaction. Oh, wow. Real life is the best 3D screen you have. So fuck it. I deleted all that shit from my phone, and I'm trying to be more in touch with reality and people in front of me than retreating to my phone to find fucking intimate experiences. I mean, like I said before about love, man, I experienced that because I met somebody in school, okay? And she actually started talking to me. So, in my last relationship, 9 months, met her in person. Even after that, somebody who I was seeing for a little bit, met her in person. Everybody I meet in person, it's a better experience. It just is. I don't know. At least for me, I'm so picky and weird that I need to know what somebody sounds like. I need to know what they look like. I need to know how their eyes move. I need to know the quirks in their face to know whether we want to talk to each other, you know? They need to see my face. They need to know that my head is gigantic. They need to know these things, okay? They need to know how aggressively large my dimples are and whether or not they think it's cute or terrifying. They need to know these things. Anyway, I don't know. Single, still. There's this thing I do when I'm single, and I think men do this because it tends to be my male friends who do this. It's not a lot of women I know don't really do this. Some of them do. I don't know. There's something about, at least for me, when I get a crush on someone, when I have a crush on somebody, who has a boyfriend, I do this thing where I start to pretend like their relationship is going poorly based on zero information. Right? You start looking at their Instagram and seeing a picture of the two of them and being like, dude, I don't think, to your friend, dude, I think something's going bad. And they're like, what? Really? Like, why? And I'm like, see, she's not, he's smiling, but look at her, dude. And he's like, well, she's smiling too. Yeah, but it's not a full smile, dude. It's not ear to ear, dude. It's a half smile. Dude, I know her. Look at her eyes, dude. I know her. Something's up. They're not trouble in paradise. She tells you about an argument she had with her boyfriend. You're like, dude, I don't know. She told me about this argument. I think she's trying to tell me something. Yeah, or maybe she's just venting to a friend. I don't know, man. I think she's fucking letting me know. Guys, by the way, she isn't. She isn't letting us know. She's not. She's just talking to a person she trusts. She's not letting you know. She doesn't like you, okay? Move the fuck away. Movies have really fucked us up, huh? So many movies were made as wish fulfillment. So many movies were made by that guy who was in that relationship, right? Who was in that relationship, or who had that friendship with that girl who was in a relationship, and then he later wrote a movie where that guy ends up with the girl. But if you ask that guy the real life situation, it's like, oh no, I never said anything. I'm still friends with that girl. We're good friends, and I don't know. It doesn't happen in real life. The fucking Jim and Pam story, that doesn't happen. You know why? Because it's mainly weird, okay? And the guy isn't Roy, the guy is Jim. What really happens is there's Jim and Pam, and there's a Roy trying to get in, or if not a Roy, there's another Jim trying to get in, and it's like, and the Jim is like, I don't want to ruin her relationship with Jim. You know what I'm talking about? At least my experience is mostly the guy and the girl are a good relationship, and you get along with the woman really well, and there is some sort of a tension of like, wow, we probably could have dated in a different life, maybe, because you ended up with somebody else who's good. But we really do it. We pretend, and then you start seeing like, oh, they're not with their boyfriend in these photos. Maybe they're broken up. Maybe I can Do what, dude? Maybe you can do what? Hey, now that you and your boyfriend are broken up, you and me, huh? Like, there's no. What is your transition, man? What is your segue into? Hey, I've been your shoulder to cry on, and I've been a trusted friend through years of hanging out. And you've talked to me about your boyfriend a lot. Hey, do you want to have sex with me and love me now? Like, I don't know. What is your? Why do we do that? I don't even get it. I don't get why that attraction even happens. I don't get why our brains just immediately go, oh, they're taken, and shut off, and then just go, all right, I no more attraction for that person anymore. I wish I could do that. Just shut off my attraction for anybody who's in a relationship. I can't, though. I can't do it. If I like somebody, I like somebody. I will never interfere in someone's relationship because I just can't do that. I would feel too fucking horrible. But I don't. I don't know how to not feel something for a person that you just feel something for. You know? Somebody looks at you a certain way and it's all over. That's how it works. That's how life is. Somebody looks at you with half a smile and cute brown eyes and you go, ah, shit, nope, I want to kiss her. That's what happens, dude. And you have no control over it. You have little to no control over it. It takes hold of you, and that's it. Yeah. Sorry, I hit the fucking mic. Yeah, I don't know. I'm all over the place now. After that weird fucking harrowing middle section, after the break, I came back in real depressed, huh? Or not depressed, happy. Happy. What a fucked life. My depression brings sadness, and so does my happiness. My happiness brings tears as well. I'm just crying all the time. Hey, guys, if you're living a good life, you're crying all the time, because that means you're experiencing a certain level of pain where you cry, but then you're also experiencing such intense joy that you're crying as well. Hey, man, if you want a happy life, cry. Oh, man. I used to never cry when I was young. Now I fucking tear up all the time. Is that just getting older, or am I just morphing into a different human being? I never know. I think as you get older, you just have enough experiences where you actually watch something and go, "Oh fuck, I know what they're feeling now." Like music, so much music, so much Modest Mouse and like Brand New and Interpol and shit like that. About heartbreak, like I listened to before I ever had a girlfriend. I was like, oh yeah, I know what they're saying. And then I had heartbreak and I was like, oh no, now I know what the fuck they're saying. I actually know what they're saying. And now I can cry because I'm like, oh fuck, it's hitting me so goddamn hard. It's hitting me at the core of my fucking center, dude. The core of my center. How redundant is that shit? Anyway. Okay. I want to talk about this for a bit because I thought about this, and once I thought it, I couldn't unthink it. Ghosting is a thing that a lot of people talk about nowadays, and it's a big topic of discussion, and everyone's like, oh my god, I get ghosted all the time. Yo, this fucking girl ghosted me, bro. A lot of that bullshit, okay? And here's the thing about ghosting. Ghosting isn't a new thing. Ghosting is not new at all. All right? Ghosting has been happening since dating has been happening. We just call it ghosting now because we're boring as shit and we need a buzzword for everything. I was really thinking about this. I was like, wait a second. When my mom was dating, like when my parents were dating, they would go on dates with people and then people wouldn't call them back, and then if they tried to call them up, the person wouldn't answer the phone, and then a person who you had 2 or 3 dates with just disappeared from your life. And guess what that is? That's ghosting. I asked my mom, I go, hey, have you ever, like when you dated, would there ever be times where like you'd go on like 1 or 2 dates and then you'd have a good time and then you'd call the guy again and then he would never call you back? And she goes, yeah. And I go, oh, okay. But what'd you guys call it back then? And she goes, I don't know. We just called it, bad. We just called it rejection, And I was like, oh, we call it ghosting now. My mom was like, oh, okay. And she goes, what's ghosting? I go, oh, it's when you go on like dates with somebody and then you're talking to them and they just stop talking to you. She's like, yeah, no, that happened too. We just didn't text. Why does texting make it ghosting? It doesn't, dude. You know what makes it ghosting? People needing to have some stupid fucking term for shit, okay? You know what makes it ghosting? BuzzFeed, because they want an article that goes, oh, have you heard of ghosting? The new way to reject someone. No, dude, the old way to reject someone. The always way to reject someone. Even if there were no phones and no technology, we're cave fucking people, and you went up to a woman and was like, hey, how's it going? I make tree with rock. Let's go to Dino Meat Steak House. Whatever the fuck it's called. Right? And you had sex or you did whatever, and then you just went to a different village, you would never see that guy again or that girl again. Guess what? That's ghosting. That's fucking prehistoric ghosting, my man. So why the fuck do we call it ghosting all of a sudden? Buzzwords, that's why. We just want fucking another top 10 list. Top 10 ways you probably have been ghosted. You know what? Fuck it. Fine. Ghosting. Ghosting's a term, all right? I'm embracing it. You know what? And if ghosting's a term, we got to add Casper to that, okay? Because sometimes when you get ghosted, you make a date with somebody, right? And then they go, yeah, let's do that. Then 2 days later, you're like, hey, we are still ready for that date? They're like, oh, no, we got to reschedule. They reschedule. Then that date comes around. They reschedule again. They reschedule 3 more times until they finally just don't respond anymore. And what the fuck is that? That's not ghosting, because that's too soft and long. That's a Casper, my friend. That's a friendly ghosting, okay? And if you think that term is corny or dumb, guess what? Ghosting is corny and dumb. So Casper's a term too now, okay? We got fucking regular ghosting and we got Casper the friendly ghosting, okay? And by the way, don't Casper people. I'd rather be straight up ghosted. Fuck ghosting. Just don't talk to me ever again. I want old school ghosting, okay? This modern ghosting, this is my point. Ghosting has always existed. It's just we do it differently now because text exists and social media exists. Okay? Like we didn't have somebody posting a fucking... My mom never had you message someone, you text somebody, they don't respond, but then you see that they saw your Instagram story, and then you message them on Instagram and they don't see your Instagram message, but then you message them on Facebook and they see your Facebook message. And then you're like, what the fuck is going on? This person's clearly ignoring me, and then 3 days later they're like, hey, you want to go on a date? Here's the real problem. We know too much about the person we're with's day-to-day habits because of social media. That's the problem, okay? Because a lot of the time, people just don't want to respond immediately. They got other shit going on in their life. But all of us are so fucking insecure and needy that we've added all these elements into our life where it's like, I need to know if someone saw my message. And the moment someone sees your message, you go, why the fuck haven't they answered yet? I don't know, because they have to think of a response maybe. Maybe because they care about you enough to not just spew out the first bullshit that comes to mind. We know too much. You ever date somebody and 2 dates later they follow you on Instagram? What the fuck are you doing, dude? We shouldn't follow each other on social media till 9 years into our relationship, okay? What do you need to see the fucking photo I post of my dumb face? I don't, it's so weird. We've created systems where we're all too involved with each other's lives and we expect just You know how many other people are communicating with? Like, I do that too, and we're all a part of it. Like, I text people, and then I get angry, like, oh, you saw, like, I just saw you post on Instagram. You definitely saw my text. Why haven't you texted me back? Like, I used to do that, and then I realized one day, oh, I'm one of 30 fucking people texting this person. Okay? And also, not only am I maybe I'm one of 10 people or 5 people texting this person, but on top of that, this person then has a job. They then have to feed themselves. They then have to watch TV or do some sort of thing to keep their sanity sane so they can relax. People have full fucking lives, and they don't need to respond to you 0.2 seconds after they see your fucking message, dude. All right? And that's perfect timing, okay? This is what I want to say. Have patience, all right? If someone sees your message, they'll get back to you eventually. If they don't ever get back to you, fuck that person because you don't need that shit in your life, okay? Anyway, talk to the people who want to talk to you. Keep your circles small. Go to the beach with one other person, not 20. Fall in love. These are the things that I want you to get out of this podcast, I guess. Or just, I don't know, hope you laughed a little bit. Anyway, I don't know why this is my new thing. I'm summing up the podcast every fucking week. Anyway, go see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood if you want. Come to my show August 4th at Pine Box Rock Shop at 7:30 p.m. It's a Sunday. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.
J-A